We all want an easier time. Like, it's why we created agriculture. We wanted to have an easier time getting food in order to survive. I mean, sure, at the time when creating agriculture, it wasn't like, oh, maybe it would be nicer if we could actually grow our crops. It was probably more like, if we grow our crops, we can survive much better. And that is synonymous with making our lives easier. It's why we also innovate. Right? It's why we create new things, create things to help ourselves. Creating the car, innovating with electricity. It's because of these things that we innovated that we can live an easier life. That things are so much easier now. And this desire to make things easier isn't really ever going to go away. We all want to make things easier, especially in our own lives. And there's one particular trick to make anything you do easy. And that is to do it even harder. Now stay with me for a bit. This is definitely more counterintuitive because I'm saying you should do it harder so that it feels easy. Why would I want to do that? But it's way more rewarding and it actually will make the thing feel much easier. For example, in the gym, say you start off with just an empty bar, squatting, so you just squat the empty bar, and then you eventually progress to having a plate on each side, so 135 pounds versus 45 pounds. And so you've done something harder than the initial. And then when you go back to just an empty bar, which is 45 pounds, it's so much easier because you're used to doing something harder. And by doing that, anything you do below that is a lot easier. And this is how you make anything easy. You do something even harder than it. You challenge yourself even harder than you need to. And that will make the thing that you're focused on so much easier. And you can argue that, this is a roundabout way of making things easy. There's no other method to make everything that you can possibly do easier besides doing this. There's no other method. And you can still say that, it's not worth it. But to me it is. And to you it will be. Because it's fun. It's fun. It's fun to challenge yourself. It's really fun. And doing this will make you search to do difficult things. So I'm kind of just reversing the script right now. Instead of making anything easy, you're searching for difficult things. But by doing this, it's so much better for you. And, you can just say, oh, I don't care about that right now. Okay, fine. But this will be so much more rewarding and fun than, scrolling on TikTok, scrolling on Instagram, watching YouTube videos, doing mindless things. This is so much more rewarding and you can really feel it. Like, after you're done on TikTok for 3 hours, you kind of feel empty inside. But when you face challenges, you feel full in a way. You feel filled in a way. Even though it might be physically tiring and draining, spiritually, there's something in you, you just feel like, I did that and I'm proud of myself for doing that. And I want to highlight this with a video game or a web video game that I played in middle school, which was Strike Force Heroes. It's a 2D shooter game / platforming game, which it was half platforming but mostly shooter, but it was quite fun. And I remember for most of the time I would use a hacked version and I'd put on God mode and everything, but that wasn't fun. The challenge of the game, or more specifically overcoming the challenge in the game, is what gives me the most fun. Right? If I can just breeze through everything, speedrun it all, and just kill and massacre everything, that might be fun for 2 or 3 games, but then after that it's this is just boring now. It's the same thing, and I'm just bored now. And then I close the game and I don't play it anymore. But it's the challenge in the video game that generates the most fun. And certainly it is the challenges in life that give you the most fun, that are the most rewarding to you. So all in all, to make something easier, search for something more difficult. By doing something more difficult than what you plan on doing, that thing is so much more easy now. Because you've already survived worse. You've already been through worse. And anything that you do now at that level is easy. It's a walk in the park. And this is the only universal law to make anything easy. It's the only one. It's progressive overload. It's the only one.